Good morning, everyone. So I want to acknowledge the other speakers who you'll be hearing from, the honorable ministers. Certainly, I need to acknowledge Dr. Saido and the Hano Academy. We have here Mr. Kojo Bru Kwesi, representing the head of the African Union here in Somalia, Madame Fiona Lortana. It's important for me to be with you today as my embassy, my team and I are dedicated to doing all we can to support Somalia's revival and for Somalia to achieve a full revival, take its place in this region as a contributor for stability, for peace, for prosperity, then we need a strong foundation of STEM education. I can tell you that in my country, we have a problem with STEM education in that traditionally women were discouraged to go into these areas of science and technology, engineering, mathematics, and it is only in recent decades that has slowly begun to change. But up until today in the United States, we do not have parity between men and women in these fields. And it is something that we know is absolutely necessary. There is an image that an honored teacher passed to me many years ago that has stayed with me when it comes to this idea of society advancing, needing the full participation of men and women. This is that image. Imagine a bird with one strong wing and one very weak wing. That bird cannot fly straight, that bird cannot fly high. You require two strong wings. And that is what is necessary for the advancement in my country of science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and I believe it is also something that will serve the Somali people very well. We see progress in both of our countries, and both of our countries, in my view, need to continue to make that progress. STEM serves very practical needs. With the education in these areas, there is direct change that can occur in vital areas such as adapting to climate change, ending hunger, promoting good health, and having an inclusive, resilient economic growth that serves all communities in all parts of the country. The skills that come from STEM education are what are necessary to make this progress real in people's lives. One of the things that the United States government is doing through resources made available through the American people is the Bar Ama Baro program, Bar Ama Baro, which is accelerated basic education program for those who did not have access to education. So in many instances, it is bringing education to people who, for reasons having to do with the difficulties the country has gone through in the past, did not have that access. So certainly for Somalia to achieve full revival, you need education in all areas, but the biggest deficit appears to be in the STEM sectors. And that is what the country is emphasizing on today. That is what the ministers have focused on. So during her recent visit to Somalia, USAID Administrator Samantha Power announced that the United States is increasing its aid to those who are suffering the effects of this terrible drought by $476 million. This is for urgent food, humanitarian, and development assistance, bringing the contribution from the American people to Somalia to over $700 million. We are urging other friends of Somalia to also step up to respond to the terrible suffering that is coming from this historic drought. We have gone back in all of the records of Somalia. We could not find another drought as severe as this one, causing so much human misery. So the absolute need to respond to save lives and to save people's livelihoods so that there's immediate recovery, and then building in systems of resilience so that the next time there is a shock like this, people are able to take care of their own needs. So what are the sorts of things you need to build in that resilience? They are all STEM related. It's engineering. It is water management infrastructure. It is the science on how to grow new varieties of food plants in a changing climate situation. All of these are demands on STEM education. So that is, as I said, that is why STEM is such an elemental, necessary part in Somalia's revival. So what is this Ama Baro program achieving in terms of education? Providing fundamental literacy and numeracy skills, more than 40,000 boys and girls. In the upcoming school year, we will bring that to 80,000. We're investing in the recovery of the education sector by training teachers and administrators. So the idea is for across all education sectors, but certainly with an emphasis on STEM, giving those parts of the Somali population that had been, circumstances had denied them education, bringing them up with their peers so that they can be part of achieving Somalia's revival. For innovation, for coming up with new ways of serving the Somali nation, that requires objective, critical thinking, and freedom of expression. If you are not free to come up with your new ideas and discuss them with others, then that prevents innovation, that prevents finding new ways of serving the nation. So the whole idea of freedom of expression is an essential part of encouraging innovation, encouraging advancement. So I don't want to, I'm looking at my other notes, but many of my other notes have already been spoken to in the opening inspiring speech. So I want to thank you for that. But we are very proud, my team and I, to be invited to be with you today. We strongly support your efforts. I applaud the effort to bring together such a dynamic, passionate group to explore sustainable solutions to today's pressing problems during this year's summit. So with that, have a good summit.